Wait, what am I supposed to be doing? I know I said I was going to be productive today. I have no idea what I said I was going to do right now. Does this sound like you? Wanting to be productive, having the plan initially to be productive, knowing what you want to do, but when it comes down to the time or the day that you're supposed to do it, you can't remember what you're supposed to be doing. And you're here running around like a hot mess because you're so unorganized. If this sounds like you, then this might be the video for you. I'm Kimani and welcome to my channel Hauling This Together, where we talk about all things personal growth, productivity, and organization. So if this sounds like something that is up your alley, then consider subscribing. In this video, I'll be going through a process called time blocking, calendar blocking. They're the same thing, just two different terms that are used to describe this one process. This has been the best way that I have found to schedule my days, schedule my week, so that I don't feel like a walking ball of chaos on a day-to-day basis. What is time blocking? It's literally just blocking away your time. So what you do is you set a specific amount of time in a block on your calendar that is dedicated to a specific task that you have to complete. So it tells me when I need to start a task, how long I need to spend on a task, and when I need to move on to another task. So it's not just like a to-do list where you know what you need to do within a day or a week or a month, but it actually tells you when you need to do this. Why do I use time blocking or calendar blocking? I was honestly so tired of telling myself that, oh, I need to do something, and I'm like, oh, nope, not today. Oh, I need to go somewhere. Oh, nope, not today, because I didn't have the time for it, or I didn't plan for it that day, or whatever the situation was. And it's just a way of calming the chaos that is up here. Another reason why I use time blocking is because I am a very forgetful person. Another reason why I time block, it sets reminders or notifications to tell me that, okay, Kimani, in 5 minutes you're supposed to do this, in 30 minutes you're supposed to go here, so mentally prepare yourself. It also takes out a lot of the procrastination out of my work. Oh my gosh, if I have a list of things to do, I'll be like, okay, I need to make my breakfast, and I make my breakfast, and it ends up with me watching a series, or it ends up with me on Instagram, and I'm there for 3 hours, and I'm like, wait, didn't I say I was going to be productive today? And so even if I slack off, which sometimes I do, I will get an alarm, a notification, an alert, a reminder, whatever you want to call it. I'll get one of those things to say, okay, you have this task to do in 10 minutes. And I'm like, crap, I just wasted an hour, but at least I'm reminded that I was supposed to be productive. And so it kind of cuts that time short for me to waste time. And a little bonus reason is when you color coordinate things, I'm more interested in my calendar that way. Also, just a little side note, if you want more ways in which you can manage your time better so that you can stop making excuses and stop saying, nope, not today, then you might want to check out my last video, which is right there in the iCard, where I talk about my top tips for time management so that you can go after the life you want. Okay, enough about all of that. Let's get right into the video. We are currently in my Google Calendar, and this is my time blocking. So if you look on here, you will see that right here, I'm supposed to be filming, right? So I'm actually on track. So I actually have things pre-planned. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. It goes as far as far goes. You can also change the view up here to a day view. For the week view is what we had. The month view is a little confusing, so I never used that. And then I have holidays, and I have an external calendar linked here, which is my personal Yahoo. When you click on each thing, so like here, I clicked on filming, it gives me the day, the time, and if it repeats. So my filming day is Wednesday, so it repeats weekly on a Wednesday, and I get alerted 10 minutes before. I can also toggle between here to see what calendars are shown, just in case I don't want to see my entire life, but I just want to work on one specific calendar. So let's take out that one. let's get into how you can create this for yourself or something similar. So because it's a Google Calendar, the first thing that you need is a Google account. Okay, so now we're in the account. You can just go to this box icon here with the 9 dots, and you can click on it and you'll have all your different Google applications here. And I'm just going to search for Google Calendar, which is right here. Okay, so now we are in this new Google account. Let's come out of that. So you can go to add a calendar and go to browse calendar of interest, and here it's going to give you different kinds of holidays that you can add. If you are a religious person, you can add. If you're a sports fan, you can add whatever sporting holidays or events that you would be interested in. So let's go back. So now these are our other calendars. You can also add other calendars like your external calendars. So the first thing that I do is I create an ideal week calendar, right? Okay, so to create your ideal week calendar, we are going to go back to where we were just now and click this little plus sign, and then we're going to go to create new calendar. Create new calendar, and we're going to call it ideal week. And you can add a description if you want. You don't have to. That's it. Calendar created. There we go. And it's in purple automatically. Awesome. What I use this for is literally as a template of what I would love for my ideal week to be like. Keep in mind that this is just a template for what you would love for your ideal week to look like. But on a weekly basis, you can edit this for whatever kind of week you are having. So all the things that you do on a daily or a weekly basis, that's the first thing that we're going to do. So let's start with your morning routine from 7 to 8 or whatever the time is. Let's call this morning routine, right? It's an event, not a task or a scheduled appointment. We are going to go here and we are going to allow it to repeat daily, or we can do it every weekday because we want to sleep in on weekends. Okay, you can add a guest if you want. So if it's like a meeting or something, you can do so. Add a location if it's somewhere that you're going to go. Add a description if we want. Not really interested in any of that. We can add an attachment if we want. Not really interested in that either. We're going to select what calendar we want. So I'm going to click ideal week calendar because that's what we're working on. So the automatic color for ideal week is purple, but because it's morning routine, let's say I want to change it to a yellow color so it reflects the sunshine and shows me that, okay, Kimani, let's get this done. And then I'm going to select it as busy, so obviously nobody can set a meeting with me, or nobody can, if they're looking at my calendar from an external source like a Calendly account or something, it will show that I'm busy, and so they cannot book any time with me during that period. Default visibility, you can toggle that around if you want. And add a notification, we're going to say 10 minutes before the time. You can change how much time that you need, and let's see, that's it. Okay, let's schedule. Now we schedule that, and as you can see, it automatically filled out. But we need a morning routine for Saturday, and before we get to that, you will see that it goes on and on and on for as long as possible. 10 on a Saturday. Now all your morning routines are added. Now let's say we're going to add our night routine. Or you can click on whatever you need to do and you can edit. You can add emojis. I want to add the night emoji, a moon. I did that, and whatever changes you're going to make, it's going to ask you if you want to make it to this event, this and all the following events, so all the events that are coming after that one, or if you want to do it for all events. So I want to do it for all events, so let's do that. I also want to go to bed early on a Sunday night since I have work in the morning, so let's go to custom. Let's edit this a bit. So we want to do this on Sunday nights as well, and you can toggle across whatever you need and see the differences. So now we have our morning routine and we have our night routine. The next step that I usually do is I add in my work hours, whatever that looks like for you. Let's add a block here for work, and if you want to put in whatever specific work you want to do, that's fine. And I don't want to work for 1 hour. I have a 9 to 5, so so now we have that work block for 9 to 5, which now shows that if we want to actually do our morning routine at that time and night routine at that time, we only have 4 hours in between. However, I don't have a 9 to 5, So on Mondays, I'm going to do just 5 hours of work. So that's what I want to do. And I keep going back and forth to make sure that whatever changes I'm making are being registered. If we have meetings, let's do that. Let's say this is a weekly check-in, weekly on Tuesdays. You can schedule your lunch break if that works for you. I don't. I just eat within the cracks of my day. Mondays, you also have another meeting. And this meeting, it doesn't happen weekly, but this event I want it to occur on Mondays every 2 weeks. And I want 3 occurrences. There's my meeting, and because this is the next week, it's not shown there, and I have it for every other week. So the following week, it will be there, of course. Then it won't be there for a week. Then it will be there that week, and then it won't come again because I only had it for 3 occurrences. Let's say we have an end of week meeting that happens monthly. Second Friday of every month. This will pop up on every second Friday of every month. Let's just go through. There we go. It's there second Friday in June, and go back to today by clicking T. If you have any weekly engagements that you'd like to include in this, you can also do that. Now you can see all the empty spaces that you have so that you can plan around the things that are somewhat mandatory. Okay, so here we are filming the video, and it's alerting us that we have work to do, and this is the calendar that it's in, and it's starting at 1 p.m. It is currently 12:30 p.m. and so it has reminded us. Let's close this. See, here we have work, and we had that we needed a reminder at 30 minutes. So there we go, we're seeing it live and in action. Now we can put in all the other things that are recurring or that we need to add to our agenda. So let's put in gym. You want to go to the gym 3 times for the week. Now we're seeing right here that we are having a overlap, right? So we can change this to there for this event only, and there we go, it's changed. But I don't want to do that. I actually want to put gym to later in the night. So let's do that. Let's say you like to read. That's what we're looking like right now. We still have empty spaces, and ideally for me, I love to have the empty spaces because it gives me room to play around with what I actually want to do. Now I'm going to add in my errands and other chore like stuff. Okay, so these are the necessities. There are a few extras that you can add. So let's say you want to take up a new hobby. So you have your art classes, you have your singing lessons, and let's say in the morning, I don't know why we have so many hobbies, but on a Thursday, because you're free, you end up going to dance class. Dance classes, and let's save all events. There we go. So now we have all our hobbies, all our extracurriculars, or gym, or meal prep, or work, or church, or play dates, or reading time, or morning routines, or night routines. We have every single thing that I can think of in this moment on our calendar. Okay, so this is our ideal week calendar. This is what we'll use on a weekly basis to plan out our day so that we know what we need to be doing, when we need to be doing, and how long we need to spend doing that specific task. So as I mentioned before, you can obviously subscribe to multiple calendars, or you can import outside calendars and link it to your Google Calendar through URL, which is a whole other thing. And if you want a video on that, then let me know and I'll do a whole video on Google Calendar. But right now we're just focusing on time blocking. That's our ideal calendar. The other one that I like to have is a work calendar. And we can also link the ideal calendar work periods, work time blocks to this work calendar. Now, the reason why I suggest having a work calendar outside of your personal calendar or your ideal week calendar is because, one, your ideal week calendar is just a template for you to plan out your week. Two, your personal calendar is your personal calendar, and if you are an entrepreneur or you work with a team and you need to share your calendar so that people can know your availability before they book time with you or before they schedule a meeting or whatever it is that you need to do, then you don't want to necessarily share your personal calendar, because you don't want the world or your team to know that you have a dentist appointment on Tuesday, May 5th at 2 p.m. Like, you want it to show that you're busy, but you don't need them to know the details of what you are doing. And so I suggest having a work calendar. And if you have something like Calendly that is used to schedule out your meetings and stuff like that, it will show that you are busy based on the time that you added, but it will not show what specific things you are doing. So let's create our work calendar. So now you know, based on your work calendar, that yeah, you have time for a meeting there, but it's meeting with John this week and next week it's meeting with Jane. So that's how we can do that. So there we go. But let's clear this off. So that's the other one, your work calendar, right? The third calendar that I like to add, and this one is very important for people like me with horrible memory, and this is a reminders or important date calendar. Now, I use this calendar for payments that I need to remember. Okay, if you look at my Google Calendar, here you'll see reminders / important, and they are in red. So here I need to remember to upload a document, upload another document, and next week I need to remember to pay my student loan and my insurance, and I need to remember to pay this fee. And you create that calendar the same way that you create all the others. Okay, so let's say we need to pay our electricity on the last Friday of every month. So this is the last Friday of the month. So let's go there, pay electricity, and repeats monthly on the last Friday. And let's do the calendar. See, now we have a different calendar, a different list of calendars, because we added other calendars. So this is reminder, and let's put it at red because we need to remember that this needs to be paid. And for notification, let's put a reminder for 1 day before, and then let's do it 30 minutes before so that we don't forget that we need to pay our electricity bill. And we just need a few minutes to get it done, and we will see now that it is added to every Friday of the month for as long as we need to. It's reminding us every single month to pay these bills. Okay, so I've shown you the 3 main calendars that I use, and I've also explained to you how I did it, why I did it, and what I use them for. Now, every person's life is different. What I use may not be ideal for you, and so these are the fundamental things to keep in mind, and these are the steps to take to create the calendars and to merge everything together. However, if you need to schedule other things in your day or other things in your life, then be free to do so. There's no limit on how many calendars you can or cannot create, and so create as many as you need. If you have kids and you need to have a calendar of their extracurricular activities, their play dates, music lessons, whatever it is, then you can create a calendar for your kids. If you need to create a calendar for your social life, you can do so. If you need to create a calendar for your meal planning or your meal prep sessions or even your social media posting schedule, then you do you. For me personally, I use another app called Notion, which organizes literally everything else in my life. So if you're interested in seeing how I use that and what it actually is and how it helps me to organize my life, then let me know in the comment section and I'll definitely create a video for that. So in this video I showed you how I schedule out my days and my weeks so that my life is not so chaotic. However, this isn't always the case because life has a tendency to get really crazy, especially when we're traveling. That's the most chaotic time for me, and it doesn't matter how much I try to plan out my hours or book out whatever I need to do. To some extent I do stick with it, but when I'm traveling everything gets so all over the place. So if that sounds like something that you'd love to see, then stick around for next week's video. But until then, just remember to do something today that will make you a little bit better than you were yesterday.